Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking WWE 2K20 and we're talking terrible reporting. Now you all know here on the channel I like to talk about WWE games and most notably the next installment of the WWE games franchise, WWE 2K20. Now the reason why I talk about 2K20 is because it's that time of year where we start to have those discussion topics. We've also had 2K give us the feedback project as part of the 2K forum. So we're moving around to moving from WWE 2K19 to 2K20. And it does open the door for us to have discussions, and that's how I see the videos that I make on my channel. They're not so much news reportings, they're more discussions where I open up the forum for you guys to interact with me and tell me what you think about details that we're discussing regarding the next WWE game. And I think it's great because I'm invested in the game, you're invested in the game, we both have a mutual interest and we want the best possible WWE game each year. So these discussions are worth it. And that's something I can't say about some of the news reportings that I'm seeing from more mainstream media. Now before we get into it, I want to make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell turned on so you stay up to date with all my WWE games content. So what am I talking about? Well, if you do a Google search for WWE 2K20 and you click the news tab, you will come across foxsportsasia.com. And this is a news reporting site. I wasn't sure if it was legit at first, if it really did relate to Fox Sport, but I tried to check out the About Us tab. That's greyed out, so that wasn't very promising. However, I did notice that they have got quite a large following on social media in terms of Twitter, Facebook, and other social outlets, including their website. And they are reporting WWE 2K content, and they are listing articles. It's the same person that seems to write the articles each and every time. But unlike where we're having discussions, it's an open forum, and I'm not saying things are factual, or at least when I do mention certain topics, I have my view and opinion on it, so then I can get your view and opinion on it. These sort of articles that are being posted here don't have any value whatsoever. They don't have any input, they don't give proper views and opinions. In fact, they just kind of state the obvious or just ignore the reality of what they're reporting. So a great example of this was the article that I came across, and the reason why I'm talking about this today is this is coming out at the top of the Google search. I mean, why? Why are these sort of websites coming out at the top? If you guys are going out there looking for decent news, decent reportings, these sites are not the one. But let me just give you a bit of an idea of the stellar reporting that is going on from Fox Sports Asia. Check this out. This is the headline. WWE 2K20, will the roster include the new wrestling gimmicks in WWE? Wow. So Shruti Sabhavar, I think that's how you say his name, and clearly so proud of his article that didn't even want to have his face as part of the article. He's faceless, and many times when people are faceless on social media, that usually means one thing. Yes, I'm not very proud of what they're about to say, and this is a fine example of it. So this is what was written. WWE 2K20 is set to hit the shelves later this year. Factual. As one of the most anticipated games of 2019, WWE 2K20 is set to be full of surprises considering the massive success of WWE 2K19. It is possible that the successor will also try and feature an engaging storyline and a well-packed roster. No shit, Sherlock. Thus, could superstars like Bray Wyatt and Bobby Roode have their new gimmicks featured in WWE 2K20? Hold on, let's just rewind on that for a second. Considering the massive success of WWE 2K19, it is possible that its successor will also feature an engaging storyline and a well-packed roster. Right. Thus, could superstars like Bray Wyatt and Bobby Roode, who of course were on the roster last year, have their new gimmicks featured in WWE 2K20? Well, of course! I mean, I don't get it. I don't get the article's substance or worth at this very second. Now, let me continue to read on. The WWE 2K20 roster has not been revealed yet. However, it is expected that wrestlers like Tommaso Ciampa and Nikki Cross will return to the 2K series. Okay, I don't know how you know that, but if it's expected, then I'll believe you for now. Both these wrestlers were unexpectedly dropped in the previous edition. Additionally, NXT superstar Matt Riddle and former WWE superstar Hulk Hogan can also be present in the roster. Well, they can, yeah. They can. Again, substance. Amidst these major comebacks, it is quite possible that WWE includes the brand new wrestling gimmick that has recently been adopted by WWE superstars. Two of the biggest names in that list is Bray Wyatt and Robert Roode. Where are we going with this? Like, serious, where are we going with this article? Because we all know that 2K go out of their way to make sure that superstars are up to date each year. Now, of course, we had someone like Baron Corbin who didn't get their updated look or their updated gimmick, but that was down to WWE and the timing of that gimmick change. These have been done well in advance. These will happen. It seems absolutely pointless to really be discussing this because I just don't see the worth in it. Robert Roode will be in the game. More of the better topic here to talk about, if anything, is will we get a Bobby Roode and a Robert Roode? So then you can have the mustache version, which is Robert Roode, or the bearded version of Bobby Roode. So you have some different looks to those superstars. But this is much more like just, stating the obvious. So let me just continue to read on. Bray Wyatt returned to WWE in April 2019 after several promos of his Firefly Funhouse. Was it several? Anyway, yeah, I know you can say several and it doesn't mean several, but it was like a couple. Anyway, was shown on the weekly Raw and SmackDown episodes for some time. I thought they were only shown on Raw. Anyway, he looked completely different from all his previous gimmicks as he came onto the screen in shorter hair and beard, advocating the fun element of his really creepy but well decorated playhouse. Right, where are we going with this? So I'm just looking through. Not much, still not a lot. Talking about Bobby Roode and the way he looks, still not much. So anyway, I'm going to skip to the last bit of this article. Both these characters are now part of the WWE main roster. They may well be able to build up the hype around their fresh gimmicks by SummerSlam. After all, WWE has been widely advertising the new personas of these wrestlers. Wrestlers like The Undertaker and Finn Balor, where's this going, have their alter egos included in the roster. What? Thus, in WWE 2K20, it is quite possible that both these gimmicks will feature on the roster or will appear in the storyline. What is this, the storyline? Like, you talking about my career? Well, like Matt Hardy and his multiverse. Is that what we're saying? I don't think they would feature in just that, these two characters. One. And two, they're not new gimmicks as such. When it comes to the game, you will likely get this version of Bobby Roode as opposed to two versions. That's just likely what will happen. That tends to be with anyone on the main roster. You normally get the updated gimmick. It's not like we got two versions of Jeff Hardy, one with the face paint, one without. We don't get that. Bray Wyatt, yes, you got historical versions of Bray Wyatt, but that was because we had the Daniel Bryan showcase. We didn't have that just because Wyatt switched up his gimmick. Much like Luke Harper, we had the Bludgeon Brother version, which at the time was the current version. And of course we had the Wyatt family one to tie in again with the Bryan showcase. So this is just completely farcical to report this with any notoriety that this is important by any means. I mean, yes, Roode and Wyatt have new gimmicks. Yes, they will be in a WWE game. But if you wanted to talk about this better, it might have been better to build a case for having Robert Roode and Bobby Roode as two versions in a WWE game, which is different because we don't normally get that with current superstars on the main roster. We do historically, that's why we get a ton of Stings each year, but this would be a different instance. So this isn't the first one, and again, just remember, these are coming out top of the Google search. At the top. These are the top reporting stories. So I don't know how they're getting to the top with this, but if this is getting to the top, all the other great content that people are talking about building towards the game is beneath this. For real? Well, it is for real. So let me go to another article that was by the same person for the same website, and just think about this for a minute. Now, we discussed this on the channel. We discussed the apparent leaked document, but I made it very clear to take it as a pinch of salt. It totally looks not legit. So it should be something you should really be putting out there when you start talking about this. It doesn't look legit. However, it does raise some interesting points. For example, DX being the collector's edition. I think that could be possible. So the article tells you everything that's in the letter. You can check out my video for that, or you can continue to read this. I have linked it in the description so you can have a good old laugh for yourself. But the last part is what I wanted to read. If these reports are to be believed, the WWE 2K20 will release, I'm not sure how that's written there, on August 7th. And we will have all the updates on the roster by the end of the same month, amidst the major changes that WWE are expected to introduce in this year's edition of the game. The storyline is still the most anticipated part. The storyline! He's doing it again! What storyline? What is he talking about? My career? Universe mode? What is it? Oh my god, how frustrating. Hopefully it will be as gripping. What was gripping? My career? I don't know. It just seems ridiculous, if not more, as the WWE 2K19 gameplay. So far, we have received no official confirmation on the said details, which may prove to be false. So at the end, it acknowledges that it may be. Stay tuned for the latest updates in WWE 2K20. Yes, please do stay tuned, but not to this website. Because in no instance is it put in here that some of the details are, not quite factually right. There's no pointing out of any of the errors that are in that letter either. It just really does skim the surface of the letter And if you're reading this and you're skim reading it, you would take away, quite frankly, that a lot of this could be legit, and it's really not. And also, like I said, by the end of it, again, going back to this intriguing storyline that I just don't understand. It must be my career, but does this person play the game? Did you pick up a copy of 2K19? I'd love to know, because if you did, you'd refer to it as the mode you're talking about. There isn't my storyline in there. So you see what I'm saying? I mean, the reason why I made this video is just because, one, I can't quite believe that this is top of the Google search when it comes to WWE and WWE games. It just devalues any sort of content creator or mainstream media source, I'm not knocking them all, that reports this legitimately and actually does then go and analyse what they're taking away here. So, for example, in this instance, he should have pointed out, you know, that there were leaks and holes and things in that report of that letter. But he doesn't do that. He just actually quotes everything in the letter, so you take it away as, oh, this could be legit. Doesn't really say where it came from either. No reporting of the source. No saying that it came from a Twitter account which has had some controversial tweets. These sort of things you'd really think about including if you are giving the true facts to your audience. So I just find it very frustrating, and I would say to you then, you know, go out there and look for people and look for creators and look for news sources that either are legitimate or, you know, people that you're invested in enjoying the content and enjoying talking about things with, because these help nobody. These are just clicky, and I don't know how they get into the top of search engines. And yeah, and it also as well, it seems so legit because it's Fox Sports Asia, so you kind of think to yourself, well, WWE are going to be on Fox soon, all ties in together, this is legitimate reporting. It's just not. And I don't really get the website either. Like I said, it has the Fox Sport logo on it, it falls under the banner. Tried to look into it more, has a decent following on social media. So, you know, all the things are there for you to click on this and think, interesting, good points. But, you know, take a step back and actually, if someone doesn't quote the source, if someone doesn't put in there all the ins and outs, if someone's not really divulging and they're just skimming the surface, I would take it as a pinch of salt. And so, you know, I just wanted to make a video about this today because I do find it frustrating. I do find it far-fetched, and I do find it laughable that we have reports like this coming out so high, and then people will go there, read this and start, you know, quoting it as factual. And in reality, you see, like, for example, myself, we've talked about that leak letter, we made a good bit of fun of it, Den Cops talked about it as well. You know, there's people out there that actually are speaking truthfully to you guys, so you understand, you know, if things are factual or not. So I want to get your views and opinions on this sort of stuff. I want to know what you think about this sort of news, and, you know, have you come across this site before? Because, like I said, all of a sudden this is on the radar, and I don't know why. But I just want to get your views and opinions on this. I thought it was a bit far-fetched to say, could we get the new gimmicks in a WWE game? Well, of course, if there's time, they will be in. And then implying and making a comparison to Undertaker and Finn Balor is just nonsense. So anyway, a bit of a laugh for you. You know, we're almost reaching the end of the week, so something to kind of cheer you up and just think, what? And can anybody tell me, please, what is the storyline? What is it? What is Shruti Sabav? I think I got that right. What is he playing? My career? Universe? Exhibition? I don't know. Anyway, try and look for the best sources possible. Always look for the source in these sort of articles. And yeah, Good reporting. All that's left to be said is please rate, comment and subscribe. We'll be talking about topics that will get you involved, will get you energized and will get you invested, and we will talk about them truthfully, factually. We'll have the source, and we'll also as well discuss what you guys want in a WWE video game as opposed to something like this. That's what we'll keep doing. But for now, this is Delzinski signing out.